In this part, you'll learn how to keep an eye on the clock without freaking out. You'll use simple micro deadlines to guide your pace. Notice early if you're drifting behind, and make calm adjustments so you finish more questions with less stress. In exams, most people know enough to score higher than they actually do. The real difference is how they use time. A victim of time keeps checking the clock, panics, gets stuck on tough questions, and then rushes the final pages, leaking easy marks. A pilot thinks differently. They treat the exam like a mission, follow a plan, and read the clock as information, not pressure. Treat the exam clock like a dashboard, not a countdown to disaster. Constant time watching only increases stress and slows thinking. Instead, decide your checkpoints in advance, maybe every 20 or 30 minutes, or after each big section. At each checkpoint, quickly ask, am I roughly on schedule, a little ahead, or a little behind? Time is just feedback. If you're behind, don't panic, adjust speed, skip, or shorten answers. Before you answer anything, build a quick flight plan for the whole exam. Start with a simple formula: total minutes divided by total marks. That gives you your average time per mark. Then turn that into real clock deadlines. For example, MCQs finished by 10:30, short answers by 11 o'clock. Only then do you start writing. You don't begin question 1 until those end times are written down. Now, mark your territory. During your first scan, quickly decide when each block of questions should be finished. Then, in the margin, write the actual clock time, done by 10:25, done by 10:40, and so on. The wall clock now becomes a simple yes or no check. Am I past this time or not? You remove mental arithmetic, so your brain is free to focus on solving questions. Think of your exam like a game with checkpoints. Every 20 to 30 minutes, or about every quarter of the exam, quickly check the time and ask, am I roughly where I plan to be? If yes, keep going. If no, speed up slightly or skip a tough question. Between checkpoints, ignore the clock and give full attention to solving questions. Short checks, then deep focus. Instead of thinking 3 hours, help break the exam into clear blocks. For example, MCQs, then short answers, then the essay, each with its own time limit. Before you start, choose your blocks and write their finish by times. When a block's time is almost up, speed up or move on, even if it isn't perfect. Treat each block like a mini test. Focus fully, then mentally reset for the next one. Every micro deadline is a decision point. You quickly ask, am I roughly where I plan to be? If yes, continue as normal, and if you're slightly ahead, use a little extra time to tidy an important answer or add one more step of explanation. If no, you don't panic or argue with the clock. You immediately switch to catch up mode, shorten explanations, skip one tough question, or move on faster. Binary choice. No drama, just logic. When you realize you're behind, don't panic, switch to emergency mode. First, speed up just for this block of questions. Slightly shorter thinking time, slightly faster writing. Next, sacrifice the toughest question in the block. Mark it clearly and move on. Then condense your style. Shorter introductions, direct key points, bullet style if allowed. Finally, accept that brief but attempted answers beat perfect ideas left as blanks. Finishing a section early feels great, but it's surprisingly risky. When your brain thinks, I've got loads of time, focus drops and silly mistakes shoot up. Use a simple routine instead. First, deepen your answer just a little. Add one keyword, step, or short example. Second, quickly recheck any high risk calculations or tricky logic. Finally, bank the spare minutes for your last 10-minute routine and keep a steady, comfortable pace. Think of exam speed like a throttle. You want to go faster without losing control. Good speed comes from simplifying, write shorter sentences, use clear bullet style points, and make decisions quickly instead of rewriting everything. Bad speed is cutting corners, barely reading the question, rushing calculations, or letting your handwriting become unreadable. Your motto in the exam: fast but clear. No decoration, no drama, just marks. When your micro deadline hits, imagine a fork in the road. If you're only 1 or 2 minutes behind and still making progress, you can borrow up to 2 extra minutes from the next block to try and finish. If you're more than that behind, you stop, mark the question as unfinished, and move on. This protects the high value questions later, where you can earn faster, easier marks. When the clock hits the last 15 minutes, you switch from solving mode to rescue mode. First, do a fast page flip to hunt for blanks and write something sensible everywhere. Next, return to the questions you skipped and finish any you can quickly. Then do a stupid mistake sweep, 4 units, labels, and clear final answers. In the last minute, stop editing. Just fix names, question numbers, and other simple details. Think of this as your in exam autopilot. Before writing a single answer, decide when you want to finish the whole paper and each big section, and write those target times in the margins. During the exam, don't stare at the clock nonstop, only check at your checkpoints. If you're behind, either skip, speed up, or shorten answers. If you're ahead, quickly hunt for errors, then bank that extra time. Control the clock, control the grade. You now know how to stand a paper, split your time, choose high value questions, switch smartly, and finish strong. Don't wait for the perfect exam. Practice this system on every test until it feels automatic.